All right, week 28 of the Designorama, and this is going to be our third week in a row, not including the break, where we're focused on UI design. But I think what's fun about this is there'll be some UX and some product design, especially if you take it on as a full week challenge. And you'll see as we go, this is 100% about thinking about different devices. So whether, you can see in day one here, whether it's mobile desktop, whether it's VR, whether it's a tablet, whether it's a watch interface, each one of these days is going to provide some sort of challenge that speaks to designing for not only a specific device, but a specific context. So, why is the person getting this information in this moment, and why are they choosing to view it on their watch? Is the experience solely on the watch? Is the watch the core reason for them engaging with this experience? Is it a workout app and they're using their watch to track their workout? Or is it a messaging app and the message just happens to be coming across at a time when they're not near their phone, so they use their watch to view it? And this will go across, again, mobile, desktop, watch, tablet, and VR. You can also use AR or any sort of headset experience in that, whether it's augmented, extended, or virtual. And so that's what I would say is you can take these as individual challenges. For day one, you could work on mobile and tablet. When the watch, focus on a different product for the watch. When it comes to VR, a different product for the VR. But if you want to think strategically about product and you really want to stretch your bounds about how to choose something ahead of time, something to improve or extend something that you have into VR, into watch, or into mobile desktop, this could be an opportunity. For this week, we have a series of, this is quite a bit. There's going to be quite a few topics and courses, and they're all good. Certainly, I wouldn't expect you to get through one of the courses, let alone all of them. But they're there for you if you need them. So of the topics, and I'll include these in every video, but we have a good topic on mobile user experience design. You have some videos with Frank there. It also points to the mobile UX, the beginner's guide, which I'll show you in a bit. But a good resource for sort of an intro to mobile UX, gives a good overview and then points to, it has a frequently asked questions, and then it has a series of articles that you can go through and check out, as well as Frank Stiller's course. Responsive design. So it's sort of a slightly different view of this. Just depends on how you are looking at your challenge and what the product is. But when it comes to that desktop mobile, this may be something to think about, depending on how, from a strategic product perspective, how you decide to output the experience. But this just talks through responsive design. Again, relatively short, but I think it's a good, thorough explanation. And you have Frank here with another course where we'll talk about a little bit mobile UI design. But it talks about it, it gives a good overview, and has this frequently asked questions. And then, of course, you have a lot of articles like, best practices in responsive design. Social VR, which talks about a specific aspect of virtual reality. Again, another topic, so it's going to have bullet points. This one looks like it's a little bit longer, and then it'll point to additional articles. And then we have UX design for virtual reality, the course. Mobile first design, so just another way of thinking about designing for experiences, starting with mobile. And then into the courses, mobile UX strategy, how to build successful products. So this is maybe something that if you approach this challenge across all 5 days as one unified challenge, and it was fun for you, this may be something for you to jump into. If you don't have the foundational sort of understanding of it, and you just enjoyed the practice. Mobile UI design. So this is one I pointed out a little bit earlier in the sidebar. But good overview of mobile UI design. It's relatively short, 14 hours over 4 weeks. It's something that you could certainly take on. This one, unfortunately, I've taken, but I have the 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 syllabus here, Mobile UX Design, the Beginner's Guide, also a good um, course to take for an intro to mobile UI, and then UI design patterns for successful software. So this one's broader. It talks about software as a whole, and we talked about this one a lot last week in Unit 27, or in Week 27. UX design for virtual reality. We have a whole course on this. It's an excellent course, and it will help support your understanding of that. And then we have these two master classes. I brought up master classes specifically for virtual reality because they could provide, they're very relevant. So rapid prototyping for virtual reality, you can get in there in an hour masterclass and get a good overview of it, and then use the topic. And then how to influence behavior through virtual reality could be interesting if that's something that you were interested in. So quite a few resources. It looks like maybe 9 or 10 here, and I'll put them all up in every video and then include them in the week-long summary that we're doing right now. For day one, cross-device flow. So how do you design a seamless experience across mobile and desktop? And that's where, the responsive design, but also the mobile design and the UI for successful software course comes in. And this could be, you're looking through workouts or looking for movies on a desktop, continuing on mobile. So you look for a specific workout when you have a bigger screen, but then you move over to your mobile because you want to take your mobile with you on your exercise, whether it's running or to the gym or what have you. It could be looking for movies on a mobile, and then once you found the one you want, you go over to the TV and view it. This would be good to have wireframes or prototypes showing how the key flow translates between devices. And for that, you may want to pick a high-level interaction or one that you think is relatively problematic for transitioning, or interesting, I should say, going from mobile to desktop or desktop to mobile, or just how you would solve for the same thing on desktop and mobile. That seems complicated. Day 2 is TV interface. Create a TV interface for a streaming app. And this could be for any app. If you're doing this as a week-long comprehensive challenge, it doesn't have to be a streaming app, but think about how your product or product suite would integrate into a television experience and why it's relevant. But for the single day challenge, consider a remote control navigation, larger text, minimal clutter, output a TV screen mock-up, or clickable prototype. One of the fun things about these previous viewing depths on 1080p, and you can test this out for 4K, 8K, is that generally when they say, sit X number of feet away from your television, generally if you'd hold your phone up where you would normally have it in front of you and you sat in front of the TV at the right distance, they would be roughly the same size, give or take, depending on how large your TV was. But just a fun exercise to get an idea of how big things are on your desktop and on your phone, and how large text has to be, and how that transitions to television. And that's exclusive of just what it means for someone to be navigating television. Smartwatch interaction. So for the single day, prototype a fitness related smartwatch interaction. I think about starting and stopping a workout, tracking heart rate, receiving coaching nudges, output. It's just a small screen prototype the size of a watch, focusing on quick glanceable interactions. And again, for the comprehensive challenge as a whole week challenge, think about how you might transition from mobile to desktop to TV to watch. Think about where there is that meaningful transition and where it exists within your product strategy to connect someone across those devices. Day 4, VR gaming interface. So Sketcher Wireframe is a single day challenge. Sketcher Wireframe, a VR interface for a game. Consider menus, player stats, a multiplayer lobby, navigation, and 3D space. Output lo-fi VR wireframes, so 2D sketches or storyboards are acceptable. And there's a lot of considerations for this, and I think it would be beneficial to think about a specific device. So if you're thinking about the Apple Vision Pro versus the HoloLens versus is it the Quest, the Facebook headset. Think about, what type of experience you want to create, and then think about the device you're potentially going to use. And it would be a good idea to go through some of those virtual reality topics. Let's see if I can big that up really quickly. Like social VR or the other VR masterclass, virtual reality design, to think about what might be meaningful about that experience in your suite. If you were just working as a single day, you just choose how you would develop UI around that game, or you could even think about the UI surrounding the interactions of the game. So the tools for use in-game or the menu system around the navigation pre-game, post-game, intra-game. And the last one is a tablet-first redesign. So redesign a website for responsive performance on tablets. Think about touch input, readability, adaptive layouts. And at the end of the day, you're just going to end up with a prototype or a mock-up that's tablet-focused, responsive redesign. And, as a product suite, this may be, or serves a full week-long challenge. This may be simply that you find a reason someone may be on their tablet is because this may tie into day one, where you go from mobile to desktop and you're thinking phone and desktop, but then you have to think about tablet. Or it may be a specific context in which someone is using your tablet, an experience that's a part of your product solution that is optimized for the tablet itself, as well as the context of use in a tablet. So maybe there's an aspect of it, an educational aspect, where someone has to read, or maybe there is a segment where someone has to review something on a larger screen, but may not be near a desktop and they need to see details. But think about how a tablet could be integrated. And again, it could just be a part of day one, where you're thinking about all levels of responsiveness from mobile all the way to desktop, or all levels of design all the way from, phone all the way up to desktop. But it could also be a unique experience. So really interesting challenge this week. Should be a whole lot of fun, especially if you like thinking about sort of the context of users, or if you like sort of the organizational challenge of working with these different devices and different ways that people interact with them. Regardless, I'm really excited to see the output that everyone produces, and I wish you all the best of luck.